Et les loulous, on se retrouve pour une découverte consacrée à NBA 2K19 et souvenez-vous, j'avais fait le 16 à l'époque et ne croyez pas que je suis devenu plus fort parce que c'est pas le cas. Je suis toujours un gros noob. Alors, on a le mode jouer, on a NBA Actu, on a jouer en ligne, on a 2KU, on a bitume et jouer avec des amis. On a également la carrière. Mon équipe, tout simplement, ma ligue, avec plein d'options, bien entendu. Le mode Touquet TV et les options où vous pouvez régler plein de trucs.
And now your Minnesota Timberwolves starting five. At the power forward position, at 6'9", number 67, Taj Gibson. Starting at point. Standing 6'2", number 0, Jeff Teague. The other guard, standing 6'8", number 22, Andrew Wiggins. In the middle, 7 feet, number 32, Karl Anthony Towns. Starting at the other forward position, standing 6'8", number 23, Jimmy Butler. The head coach for your home team is Tom Thibodeau. Ladies and gentlemen, Minnesota Timberwolves.
With Greg Anthony and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. David Aldridge will join us from the sideline.
Ah, cette ambiance, quoi.
Magic taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Franchement, je trouve le jeu trop beau, quoi.
There is no shortage of athleticism in this one. Both teams, Doris, can simply outrun you, rise above you. But now they face each other.
What's better than watching high flyers face off? Who is going to put down a poster dunk in transition?
Ah bah ça commence bien.
Who is going to be on the highlight reel on the gift that you see over and over? Electric athleticism. Let's tip it up, Kevin.
Absolutely. A look at the Magic starting group. Gordon down low,
Ah, dommage.
next to him.
Ah, j'aurais
Augustine
tenté.
Fournier are in the backcourt, and it's Ross in at the small forward. Now here's Gibson. Jeff Teague unable to get his shot to go. Over Augustine, and it's Teague. That time on the assist by Butler.
Well,
C'est de deux.
crafty swingman. Jimmy Butler playing the role of facilitator.
And Augustine kicks to Fournier. Pass to Gordon. And so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there on the defense. The Magic shooting their first foul shot of the
Ah,
night.
je suis déçu, on est dans la merde. On va se prendre des paniers par Disney.
And the technical free throw is good.
You get a little glimpse into the mindset of Evan Fournier. This guy will do whatever it takes to win.
On defense, the Timberwolves. No good from
Ah,
Ross.
nickel. Allez, go, go, go.
We're about 1 minute into the first. Here's Teague.
Oh,
It's hauled in by
c'est
Gordon.
pas passé
And a
loin.
surprise he doesn't knock that down. Defense a little too lax that time.
And you look at Jeff Teague, now with a decade in the league out of Wake Forest. Greg, what does he bring to the table aside from the fact that he's been in the playoffs every
Oh
single
là
year
là
of
là.
his career?
Ce 3 points qu'on s'est pris dans la gueule, quoi.
Slasher, and really has grown as a playmaker. Not a star, but a quality starting point guard.
And Minnesota has possession. Magic knocking down the tray.
Oh non.
Ross with the steal.
Non, je suis trop déçu.
Outside Fournier.
Oh,
Off target from outside.
allez, go.
For Minnesota, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Here's Butler. Shoots over Fournier. Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Well, that's the level of tenacity that Jimmy Butler brings to the game. Finishes through contact as well as anyone, maybe short of LeBron James.
Allez, on y croit, les loulous, on y croit. Ah putain, je le sens tellement mal. J'ai la pression, là. Oh.
And that one misses. And Jimmy Butler's a very physical wing, as we know, Greg. Goes about 6'8", 240, and he can deal almost any position.
And the strength to deal with forwards, the quickness to cover guards. Also, he uses that strength to attack the rim and get himself to the line.
And here is Gibson following Evan Fournier's three. Takes the 13-footer. Towns down low. Outside Teague. Over Augustine.
Allez
A
dedans.
nice shot by Teague. Teague's got his second bucket tonight.
And that is a shot Teague loves to take whenever he gets a look at the rim.
Here's Augustine. And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Orlando shooting their second and third shots at the line right here.
And their free throw percentage as a unit last year, 76%, right around the middle of the road.
Oh là là.
Drops for Augustine.
You think about the Orlando Magic and how difficult things were from a rebounding perspective last year. Dead last in defensive rebounding percentage. Listen, if you can't close out possessions, you are digging your own grave in the NBA.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Zhang comes in for Taj Gibson. And it's Rose in for T. So he gets them both. And Doris, when you look at the Magic roster, you think they'd be better at rebounding.
Well, I think, Kevin, a lot of people assume when you have big bodies that rebounding necessarily follows. The reality is there's an art to rebounding the basketball.
Oh là là.
And there were struggles across the board for this team. Let's make no mistake. Whether it was offensively, whether it was the rebounding that you made note of, there are a lot of areas that this team and organization needs to address.
Now here's Zhang. Shoots from the baseline. Birch grabs the board. Rose against Augustine.
Après, il faut savoir que c'est un jeu plutôt difficile. Il est vraiment pas facile d'accès. Il va vous falloir pas mal d'entraînement en fait avant de maîtriser.
On its way from Rose for 2. No good off the front iron. On offense, here are the Magic. They're on a 14-6 run.
Oh là là.
That's good.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get a good look.
6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks.
Oh, dommage.
And it's Rose
Je voulais tenter un 3 points.
Magic leading by 10. And Simmons kicks to Augustine.
J'arrive pas à prendre le ballon.
Passes to Vucevic.
Salaud.
With 2 seconds left. Towns with the defensive effort. And so it's the Orlando Magic with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. Defensively, they have gotten after it, contesting every shot going up. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. All-star big man Karl Anthony Towns is hungry to maximize his potential.
I want to be the best player who ever played. And,
Alors ça, je trouve ça génial et tout. T'as les interviews et tout en plein match. Ça c'est ouf.
On his coaches, Greg, and teammates love hearing them.
And how can you not? I mean,
Allez,
that kind of drive is special. And with his tools and potential, hard to put a ceiling on just how good he can be.
Oh, comment c'était beau!
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already.
Il faudra comparer, voir si je me suis amélioré ou pas.
From what we've seen from Orlando,
Oh non!
Tough defense throughout that first period, and it's really
J'ai du mal à pas faire de faute en
I
fait.
think there's a level of
Je crois que je m'y prends mal.
physicality with them right now and not allowing the opponent to feel comfortable getting into their heads just a bit.
This is how the floor looks for the Magic starting the second. They've got Grant.
Oh!
He's out there with Jonathan
Jean.
Simmons. Jonathan Isaac is out there with Vucevic, and it's Birch in at the fourth slot.
Genre comment je me suis fait niquer.
How about the ability to finish
c'est
with authority?
inadmissible.
Go ahead, young sir.
Timberwolves trail
Monsieur
by
l'arbitre, il y
9.
avait 800 fois faute là.
Jang, a screen. Jones for 3. Rebounded by Isaac.
Yeah, coming off that screen, wide open, just can't convert.
Well, I think, Greg, that's exactly what you want. The screen was solid. The execution just fell a little bit short on the shot.
No good
Ok,
from
c'est bon.
Simmons.
Boy, they're just giving him that shot. An easy opportunity for three. It just
Oh!
slips away. How about Karl Anthony Towns, guys? At the age of 11, guess how tall he was? 6'3". So it was his goal to develop a complete skill set all the way back then. Boy, how about that? Ahead of the game in terms of the NBA.
Butler from outside. Cruiser from outside. Butler's got 5 now.
Ah, trop beau.
Jimmy Butler is knocking down that three. It so unlocks the other aspects of his game. How about the concentration to score it from deep?
He gets it in there. And talk about the mindset nowadays. Kids like Towns growing up
Putain,
not
je suis
content
vachement
to just
fier
play
de
in the
moi.
paint.
That's exactly right, Kevin. His father would divide their workouts into 2 halves. The first was face-up, dribbling, perimeter shooting. The second half of that workout, the interior, footwork, mic and drills, finishing over either shoulder. Boy, that's
Mais
a
non.
pretty smart dad.
Oh,
Towns with
c'est
the steal.
parfait.
Now here's Rose, the fast break opportunity. Here's Butler. Back to Rose. Out of bounds, Orlando takes possession.
Looking at some numbers for Simmons. Some last season stats for him. Came in about 14 points per, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And it's always nice to be able to bring a shooter like him off the bench.
Well, hard to win if you can't get points productivity, and that's what makes this guy valuable to that second unit.
Ah, cette
And it'll be
mascotte quoi.
Orlando with their first time out of the game right here.
Court now are your Timberwolves dancers. Come on, give it up.
Oh, énorme. Bon, je passe.
Minnesota making some changes. Taj Gibson's checked in for Towns. Wiggins comes in for Jimmy Butler, and it's Teague in for Rose.
Well, Steve Clifford takes over here in Orlando, and of course he is known for his frankness and his disciplined approach to the game. You think about Clifford's teams, they rarely make unforced errors and are some of the best
Oh,
at minimizing
non.
their own
Non mais
mistakes.
sans déconner.
Catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, the league has unveiled a 5-point plan to improve player-referee
Mais
relations.
personne n'a jamais vu
Things
ça.
became heated last season with a lot of star
Y a que
players
moi qui suis
ejected
maudit.
for arguing with officials. The
Oui.
emphasis on respect and clear standards of conduct on both sides can only help. Kevin?
Very good point, David. Completely agree. Thanks. And for Clifford, his job in Orlando, Doris, will be to develop the skills
Ah mais je tente
of
les
his
3
very
points là
young
parce
core.
que
That is correct.
Faut
And
essayer
he'll
de
try to
rattraper.
get this young group to play intelligently, minimize turnovers. You remember he once famously said the NBA isn't about winning, it's about winning in the playoffs.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power, hammering down.
allez
On the two-hand
Unique.
slam.
You know, rough start for him, but he seems to have turned the corner here in the second period.
Grant against Jones. And they double up Gordon. Knocked away.
Donne.
And wrestling for
Ah,
it
c'est
there,
à moi le
but
ballon,
no
là,
last
oh.
possession. We'll have a jump
Eh,
ball.
tu veux un coup de tête là?
So
Ah, mais
it's
comment tu
Orlando
l'as-
now. Bamba
Je sais pas
passes
comment on
to
saute
Grant,
pour l'avoir.
kicks to Gordon. Solid play in the low block,
Ah, je
and
suis
that
bien
one's
déçu.
good.
Assist from
And the Magic lead by 9.
How about the touch and the under control nature of what Aaron Gordon is doing close to the cup?
Oh,
That's
dommage.
nice.
Magic have gone 5 of 8 from the floor here in the second quarter. Over 60% shooting.
You just have to love that grit and effort on the glass. No problems battling for the basketball.
Here's Jang. Rebound by the
Ah, je
Magic.
suis trop deg.
For 3, Fournier. And so it's the Orlando Magic ahead by 9 as the quarter comes to a close. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David. All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of... We talked about what it takes to be a great head coach, Doris. Qualities that you think are paramount to the success, for instance, of an assistant coach.
Maybe the most important attribute to an assistant coach would be coaching with your heart and soul like it's your job on the line every night, not just the head coach's job. Right? If you pour your heart and soul into something and make that head coach's job easier, then you functioned appropriately. And the other thing it's allowed you to do is it's allowed you to accelerate your growth. You're constantly thinking, what would I do in this situation? That helps you in the long term.
Love that perspective. Teague is at the point with Wiggins at the 2. Gibson plays the 4 with Towns in the middle. And it's Butler in at the 3. So that's the lineup for Minnesota.
Ah, c'est quand même super dur. Hein.
Gibson with
Franchement.
it, and it's Gordon picking him up.
Vas-y, je tente le 3 points.
Fires from deep.
Oh, dommage.
Kept alive, Minnesota. Wiggins against Augustine. They shoot again. That's good, and the Orlando lead is cut down to 7 on the bucket from Andrew Wiggins.
Well, there's that in-between game, right? Wiggins silky smooth from the start.
Teague on the double team. Down low.
Oh,
Here's Fournier. And he makes
Je l'ai pas marqué.
mistake on the slam dunk.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
Yeah, you know, they may have gotten the feeling he would dish it off, but he had a surprise for them.
And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A 3-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
Well, this guy's going to find his way to get the ball in the bucket, contact or not. Terrence Ross can flat score the basketball.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
And last season, he made good on about 3 out of every 4 free throw attempts. And last time I checked, I think that's 75%.
Rose, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. The Magic also changing it up. Vucevic checked in for Bamba. Cam Birch comes in for Gordon. And Jonathan Simmons subbed in for Evan Fournier. Timeout called first of the game for Minnesota. Terrence Ross, Doris, one of the more athletic wingmen in the league.
Right, Kevin, this guy's got great reach.
Allez les loulous, voici lever la pancarte.
And he's always been able to dazzle at times, but he can also disappear. So this guy's got to find that ability to get involved and stay active.
And Orlando making a change here. Alwondu's checked in. There's Rose with the 3.
Je l'avais presque.
That shot off the mark.
Je suis bien
and
déçu.
Orlando the other way now. They'll be playing host to Miami for the next game. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand.
Allez,
Hard
go,
to
go,
figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Shots good by Butler.
Explosive try by Jimmy Butler. Defender draped all over him. Forget about it.
Orlando leading by 10. From 12 feet out.
Ah non.
Good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim.
Oh, comment il se la raconte.
Augustine's got his 3rd basket of the night right there. Timberwolves have gone 3 of 7 on field goal attempts here in the
Et
second
aussi
half.
mon premier match,
There's
moi.
Rose with the 3.
Oh, dommage.
Simmons pulls it in. Orlando, they've gone 4 of 7 to get things started here in the second half. Augustine, that's good.
They're finding lanes to
Je
the
fais
hoop
pas gaffe
now
en fait,
with
des fois je
consistency.
contrôle un mec
5
qui est à
buckets
l'autre
in a
bout du
row
monde.
from the paint.
Minnesota's got
Je
flanked from
vais
3-point
sortir
land
du
so
terrain.
far in the third.
Oui, mon gars.
0 for 3. Wiggins inside the line.
Oh, dommage.
Rebound by the Magic.
Yeah, and something we always talk about, though, shot selection.
Yeah, that's not a good example right there. You could have worked it around to get a better opportunity.
To the middle. Here's Gibson.
Oh, la
He'll
faute,
shoot
là.
free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time.
Je mérite
Whistle
une
blowing.
patate.
There's the call. It's a foul in Orlando.
Otage, il est pas
Gibson
content.
is a pro's pro. The rugged power forward is known for his consistency. You can
Le
count
coup de
on
latte,
this
il a
guy
failli
game
partir
in
sur
and
la
game
tête,
out.
quoi. C'était énorme. Bon, alors par contre...
No good on the free throw.
Mais même en
Well,
douceur,
Taj
quoi.
Gibson is playing a career high in minutes with the Timberwolves. This guy is in his early 30s. He's kept himself in unbelievable physical shape every single year. He's now healthy. And I'll say this, Taj Gibson is one of those guys you want in the trenches with you.
crois.
You know what you're going to get on a night-by-night basis.
No luck that time either.
Ah,
And
putain
Doris,
de
you were
merde.
talking about the responsibility for Taj Gibson with the Wolves. Coach Thibodeau bringing in the seasoned veterans to complement the young talent.
Well, Kevin,
no.
Taj Gibson is exactly the kind of influence and teammate you want, both on the floor and in the locker room. Here's a hard-working, defensive-minded player. He's made the playoffs in just about every season he has been in the league. And he has proven on the offensive end that you can play through him in the post. So much to love about Taj Gibson.
Rose kicks to Gibson and stolen by
Sans
Simmons.
déconner, j'ai perdu le ballon, quoi.
To the paint, Towns with the steal. And the rejection by Towns. Vucevic dishes to Augustine. Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Screen by Simmons. Here's a one-two. It's hauled in by Karl Anthony Towns.
Allez, go.
Towns has got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one.
Bah. Non, mais sans
stolen by
déconner.
Simmons. Here's
Mais
Isaac.
non.
And there's a nice one-handed slam.
Oh, la
Well, really
déception,
good
quoi.
awareness from Jonathan Simmons. Really getting an understanding of when to put the pass on time and on target.
And so it's the Orlando Magic holding a big 18-point lead to close the quarter. Now let's hear what Coach Tom Thibodeau was reviewing with his team in the
Ah,
huddle.
mais le coach, il doit être déçu, quoi.
Make sure we're talking on defense. Make sure we're talking. Everyone get down. We got to be more active. We got to make some hustles.
Ah, désolé,
Back-to-back
coach.
fourth quarter action starting
mon
up in what
premier
has
match.
been a one-sided show. Magic leading by 18. Fourth quarter on the floor for the Magic. Gordon down low with Bamba next to him. Fournier and Ross, they're the wings. And it's Grant in at the one. It's stolen by Jones.
Oh, comment je l'ai repris.
And now the Timberwolves on the break.
Allez, allez.
Here's Jang. And that one, good. Jang's got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Timberwolves. Doors are seeing a lot of movement on the
c'est
offensive
qu'on a
side. of the
perdu,
ball.
mais on
A lot
donne
of
tout quand
screening,
même.
A lot of movement, obviously, without the ball. Does that
j'ai sauté
require
trop tôt.
more awareness, not only on the offensive side to make those moves, but also defensively?
No, I don't think there's any question about it. One of the most important things you can do if you're an excellent defensive team is you start with communication. So as that action starts, the movement and the screening, are the teammates talking? Screen coming right, screen coming left. Do we want to trap the screen? Do we want to make sure the ball gets out of a certain player's hands? Communication in this day and age against motion offenses has got to be at the top of the list defensively.
Well said. Taj
Oh, no.
Gibson's checked in for Jang.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Here's Bamba. Count it. And the Magic lead by 18.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
Minnesota calls timeout. And Doris, last year, another season where Evan Fournier continued to improve his scoring.
Well, it's really been amazing to watch this guy refine his game over the last several years. Very judicious with the shots he takes. Not going to wow you too often, but a very consistent contributor.
DJ Augustine's checked in for Jaren Grant.
Je sais pas c'est quoi son
We're
icône.
just over a minute into this final quarter of play. Teague inside the line.
Ah, dommage.
Offensive rebound. Here's Towns. Second chance shot.
Oh.
Here's Jones. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
That's his first personal.
Well, think about the Minnesota native Tyus Jones. His poise at the point guard spot is what stands out to me, guys. Here's a terrific IQ and an unbelievable sense for how to run a team. Tyus Jones, we're just getting the best of him now.
2 shots.
J'ai le droit à 2 tirs. Mais je suis nul. Est-ce que je vais enfin en marquer un comme ça?
That one is
Trop
off.
forte, je crois.
And Tyus Jones, Doris, won a national championship at
Ah,
Duke.
désolé,
He was the
coach,
outstanding
hein.
player in the Final Four, but only the 24th pick in 2015. What caused him
Allez,
to slip?
coach, c'est pour
Well,
toi
I think
celle-là.
one of the questions you had was athletically, could he match up at the point guard position in today's NBA? But I think what you absolutely love about Tyus Jones, just as you stated, he won a national championship. This guy has been a winner, and I think his skill level, the intangibles, his ability to run a team, there's a lot to like about this young man's game.
Just 5 on the clock. Knocked away. And so it looks like the Magic will retain possession here. Butler, he's checked in for Tyus Jones.
Jimmy Butler.
Le coach, il doit plus en pouvoir quand même.
A little over a minute and a half of the fourth quarter gone now.
Putain, le 3 points qu'on s'est pris dans la gueule.
Down this many points, hard to justify leaving
Vas-y, je tente un 3 points.
That wide open.
Right. If you want to get back in the game, you simply can't afford to let long-range shooters get comfortable.
And the call
J'ai fait une faute.
Jeff T. That's foul number 2 for him.
Désolé, mec.
Look at the state of the game.
J'ai
International
glissé.
leagues getting better and better, Doris. There's no doubt about it. We see it at Olympic times and during FIBA play in between. We see a lot of NBA players who have spent time abroad, and I think they come back better.
I don't think there's any doubt about that, Kevin. I think wherever you can hone your craft and do it in a competitive environment where winning and losing is at stake on a nightly basis, it has so many opportunities for learning and growth. So, okay, I can't turn it over 5 times in a competitive environment, regardless of what league I'm playing in, because that's to the detriment of my team. If I'm lazy on the defensive end, I'm going to get exposed by good offensive players. To me, Kev, I love any time there's competitive basketball being played. I want to watch it.
Love that answer. Wiggins drives in.
Andrew Wiggins, the #1 overall pick back in.
Savez quoi, je vais pas encore la marquer.
Bloodlines, the son of pro athletes.
Ah, le coach, il va être encore déçu.
Taking 2 shots.
Well, you think about Andrew Wiggins, guys, signing that max deal in 2017. Timberwolves ownership, though, wanted to sit down with Wiggins to hear him commit to being a better player. Pretty unusual
J'ai
stuff.
du mal avec le ballon, il est dégonflé.
Jang, he's checked in for Towns. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for T.
Oh non.
No good on the second.
Putain, j'en aurais pas marqué un seul comme ça dans la game.
Will nowadays. Wiggins wanting to improve his free throw percentage.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness, as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for the Magic.
This was a very efficient offense tonight.
And they found a way to get their shots to go down. A little luck didn't hurt. A lot of their 50-50 shots
encore perdu.
fell their way.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And once it becomes official, this win gives them a nice confidence boost against this team. They'll face them twice more this season.
Here's Jang. That ball's nice feed that time from Wiggins.
Well, late rotation by the defense, and Wiggins has the vision to find the open man.
Orlando dictating the flow. So far in the fourth quarter, they've allowed just 6 points.
Non, non.
36 seconds left in the
Je lui
fourth
laisse
quarter.
la place, quoi.
Here's Isaac.
Non. Oh oui.
Misses the 3.
Hey, go, go, go.
And so it's Minnesota with it.
Non.
Shoots from 14.
Oh, dommage.
Birch grabs the board. They've been doing a great job of sharing the ball.
And guys,
faut pas qu'il marque.
comes to mind for me because right now that offense, it's a smooth operator.
Marque pas enfoiré.
Pass to Isaac, and out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession.
Well, he's obviously anticipating different movement there, and instead of an easy connection, the pass sails straight into the front row.
Vas-y, je tente le tout pour le tout.
Here's
Ah, dommage.
And so it's Orlando taking this one by a big margin. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin, with Evan Fournier. Hey, Evan, does a win like tonight's against this kind
Bon,
of...
je passe l'interview. Bon bah je reste quand même fier de mon petit 29 en score. Franchement, je trouve que c'est pas mal pour une première game en tout cas. Donc nous les loulous, on va se laisser là. Si vous avez apprécié, n'hésitez pas, le jeu est disponible sur Xbox One, sur PS4 et sur PC. Donc je vous dis à la prochaine pour une autre vidéo. D'ici là, portez-vous bien. Bye bye.